Yeah.
Cool. Let's do it.
Cool.
Mr. John.
What up?
The John of John's Gym.
That's right.
Dude, first off, your gym's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, it's the best community of people that I've been around. And I've tried a few different gyms. Not so much martial arts. That was the first martial arts gym that I even walked into. I didn't even try any other ones. I just walked into that one, took Brandon's class, and I signed up the same day.
Awesome.
I didn't even try any other ones. Well, for one, I'm not a big shopper arounder. I think that's just a waste of time going like trying out 10 different gyms and then trying to decide. If you go in the first one and the first one's great, just
go to
stick
that
with the first one.
Yeah.
Like, why keep going around and then you're just going to get confused and then never sign up. So, no, that was definitely, first off, the gym is great. It's been so much fun.
I love to hear it. That's one thing I'm really proud about is the vibe.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of martial arts gyms. I mean, when we started, there was hardly any. And then, you know, over the years, there's been so many that have come up. But the vibe is what I'm most proud about.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's incredible
well,
in there.
you make part of it. You know, you're part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's incredible in there. I can only speak mainly for the Muay Thai group because that's primarily all I do. But even the BJJ guys who are there at the same time, always super cool. Everyone's always super, you know, everyone always asks you how your day is, the whole 9 yards. Everybody's always clowning and joking, and it's always a good time. And the boxers, I've spent a little bit of time with them as well. Always cool people. And then just we get after it. Yeah. You know, the Muay Thai team is growing. The Muay Thai team is growing a lot.
I saw you working with Brandon when he was working for his MMA. You guys were doing some ground stuff over there.
Yep.
Now, it's intimidating to come to a martial arts gym sometime. You know, especially if you've trained before, or not, even if you've trained before, to go to a new facility, not know what the instructors are going to be like, not know what your teammates are going to be like. So, you know, to hear that, you know, from you and hear that from others that's what it's all about. So if you can make it fun and get good training at the same time, because that's the balance. Is like you get places where it's almost like a gladiator gym, but the vibe is like not there.
Yeah.
And then you get places on the other extreme where it's like it's too fun, kiddish, but they're not getting good training.
Yep.
So having that balance is tricky, but we're doing pretty good.
And you have that. You have a great boxing coach.
Yeah. You
have a great Muay Thai coach. Yeah. The BJJ instructors, I personally don't know, but I've heard are very good, including yourself.
Thank you.
What, through 2, 3, 4 black belts?
Yeah.
Just at this location. So I guess that's also important to say too. You have 3 locations.
Yeah. So we have 3 locations. We have so Austin was the first one.
Okay.
Started that in November 2010.
Okay.
And then Georgetown was in 2012, and then Liberty Hill was just a little over a year ago, and that one is skyrocketed as well.
Seeing pictures. That's where Joe goes. I just know him. I don't even know his whole real name. Okay. I just know his last name is Solis.
Okay.
And he goes up there now. He used to do Muay Thai at the one here on 620, but then he started doing BJJ at that location.
Okay, cool.
So we haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah.
But man, Muay Thai.
Yeah.
So much fun.
I mean, you're the one to talk about him. You for those that don't know, you know, you did a competition. You won.
I did.
The champ. I'm talking to the champ.
No, there's plenty. That's the cool part, though, is there's multiple champs now.
Yes.
You know, you have Killer Kate brought home a belt. Yes. Olivia brought home a belt.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before Megan brings home her belt.
For sure.
They got a tournament coming up in January. Yep. Got moved from November.
Right. Wait. November 6th one.
November 6th one is the kickboxing bout that they have, and then the November 21st tournament is what got moved to January. Right. So the same tournament that we did in April, they run it twice a year, April and November.
Is that the Bobby Peep one? Is that the one in Houston that you're doing?
The one in Ardmore.
Okay.
Or you mean the fight night?
I'm wondering about the Bobby. I know Bobby just started one in Houston. A friend of mine, he has a ambush Muay Thai.
I think that one, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's the week before the January tournament. I think the tournament is January 21st, and then the first sanctioned Muay Thai, I think, is January 14th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I think that's what Megan posted. Yeah. I don't know. She keeps up with all that stuff.
Yeah.
She stays.
She's awesome.
Oh, I mean, it's insane. She's about to finish her second master's degree. She's younger than me, or younger than all of us. She's 23, 24. She's about to finish her second master's degree. She's been in college for 10 years.
Amazing.
It's just...
And what a story. I mean, like, I remember when she first went in there, I mean, you know, you would not have thought someone like that would be where she is now, honestly. You know, I mean, you hate to, like, prejudge, but at the same time, seeing so many people over the years, she's awesome. I mean, the transformation, not only the transformation she's done, but how she's, you know, taken a hold of that Muay Thai group and helped Brandon to grow it. You know, they travel, like, you know, when you went, they travel to competitions. They're going November 6th to another competition, which I'm a little bummed about because we're doing our fight night. And I was like, damn, you know.
I know we're all out.
I know, all out. Yeah. But whatever, we'll do another one. I'm excited to get more, like, to do more events in the Austin gym. Yeah. It's always fun to get everyone together.
It is a fun. We're a bunch of clowns. Yeah. Anytime we do the big old fight parties at Megan's, it's just always just a big clown fest. We're just always just roasting each other the entire time. Yeah. It's always a good time. But yeah, so there, she just posted the videos this morning from a year ago, and just watching those videos till when we spar now, just her movement is even that much better just from a year ago when she was doing one of the tournaments. Yeah. And then those two are just crazy anyways. Megan and Olivia, they fight all the time. Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah. It's no surprise that, you know, when you think about Megan, it's like the discipline you would have to do to have a job.
Oh, yeah.
To be in school and get a master's degree, to train. You know, I know she was doing like personal training with Brandon as well. To spar, I mean, you got to have some like massive head strong. You know, I mean, you got to be like mindset in tune. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And for her to do all that, and she's gonna, you know, she'll get her victories. But the fact that she's out there, I'd say like maybe 10% of the people that come to the gym ever compete.
Oh yeah.
And Muay Thai and boxing were kind of like the stragglers a little bit. There was some boxing competition, but you know, when Brandon took it over and then when Ernesto took over the boxing program, the amount of competitors has been awesome to see. I mean, you don't have to compete. You don't have to compete ever.
Sure.
But to have that little slice of the competition team is awesome to see, because it's been BJJ for so long. I think maybe primarily because I was pushing that because I'm over there more. But now to have Ernesto and Brandon doing pushing competitions and taking people out to competitions is so cool to see.
And I don't know necessarily, I can't speak for Ernesto, but for Brandon himself, like he loves it for one. Yeah, and for two, he's like you said, he just travels. He's always there. Yeah. He's down to make any drive. Yeah. Olivia and Megan, they can fight as often as they want. He's going to be there every single time. Yeah. Megan talks about it a lot, where you can't find a lot of coaches that would do that for amateurs.
For sure.
As much as they drive.
That's so true. You know, it's like a grassroots kind of a thing, and then eventually, you know, you build up to more like professional fighters. But it's cool for me to see Brandon, because I remember him as a student coming in from another school. We had this Muay Thai instructor back in the day when I first started the gym. His name was Sammy Say, and he was like, you know, hard nosed, kind of like, you know, kick you, bruise you up a little bit. But it was kind of like survival of the fittest, and he was one of those guys that survived, went and won amateur competition. So it's cool to see him like not only do well, but do well as a coach and to give back, because that, you know, to me that's what it's all about. Yeah. Like, you can be really good, and it's great to be really good, but you know, at a certain point in your life where maybe you're a little too old for competition, or like you know the dream that you once had, you have kids or whatever the case may be. And so for him to like take a step back and not put his effort into you guys, and to put his effort into Megan and Olivia. I know they were doing like private lessons during you know, COVID time, and still on their business. So it's really, really cool for me to see Brandon step up like that.
Oh yeah, it's also cool to see him kind of. It's kind of sad, but also kind of cool, is how he's kind of taken a big step back from his own training. Even though he's still in really good shape, really good condition, to take a step back from his own training in order to train us, to get us to compete when he could still compete if he wanted to, is really cool to see as well. Or at least for us, because he's a phenomenal coach. He's so much fun. And then when we get into fight camp, the intensity is always fun. And that goes back to what you were saying too, as well as like, you don't have to compete, but the people who do want to compete, when it comes to fight camp sparring, we get after it.
For sure.
Like, last Thursday. It was bad. I left with 2 black eyes.
Cut that. No, I'm joking.
Like, we got after it for sure. The energy it was mostly.
But isn't that someone like, we laugh, but it's like, okay, you don't have to compete. You don't have to take your training to that level. But for those that do, it's like you can't go back.
Oh yeah, no.
Right?
No, you can't. It's too much fun.
Too much fun.
It's too much fun. I mean, even getting bruised up a little bit, you come home and it's just there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
I always tell people it just makes you feel more alive than anything. Yeah. It's like
exactly.
You get a feeling from it that not a lot of other things can provide, and it's just a blast. And there's so many times I tell this all the time. There's so many times where I've come home and like standing in front of the mirror about to shower and I'm all like bruises on my abs, my hips are bruised, quad has a bruise on it, my face is all hurting, and I'm just laughing because I'm just like, this is so stupid. But it's just too much fun.
You hate to use like the analogy of like Fight Club because it's like, as soon as you say Fight Club, it's like people go on this tangent. But if you like watch the movie and like, just take what I'm saying, it's like you have that, whether you work in corporate America or sales or whatever, and then if you're just doing that, it's boring.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. I mean, okay, you got a good job, whatever, but it's like it's boring.
Yep.
So you just do that. You come home, you go through routine. Of course, you spend time with your girl, or whatever, your significant other, your kids, all that kind of stuff, and it's just like this monotonous thing. Mm-hmm. And then you get into a gym like like John's gym where you're sparring. And then you get into like, you're getting hit, you're hitting back, and it's like it like awakens this thing that's like, we used to say like reignites your inner athlete.
Oh yeah.
But it's like reignites your inner beast a little bit. And then you're in like you're saying, you're in the shower, you're looking, you got bruises, and you're like, holy crap, you know what I mean? Like I was just in basically a legitimate fight, but you feel great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Of course it's safe. No one's out there to try to hurt you.
No.
So, and I think that adds to the feeling of like excitement and the whole thing. So
it does add to it because you're not in there fearful. It's not like you're fearful for your life or you're scared or you're fighting to the death. You're in there 3 straight minutes with someone who you love, and y'all are going at it and just earning each other's respect. And each and every day, each and every time you spar, each and every time you train, you just gain more and more respect for each and every person in there. Exactly. That leads into other things too. So if y'all go out and y'all are hanging around, like you can trust that person with anything. Like
for sure.
If you want to go out and you had too many drinks, you can trust that person next to you. If something went down, that person next to you is also going to have your back no matter what. Because we gain each other's respect. It's just it's a family for sure.
When you're in high school, I don't know what your experience was, but like, okay, if you're in high school, if you decide to go to college, okay, you have like a group of friends, you're hanging out, whatever. Then when you like move out and you have like a career or you move to maybe another city or whatever, unless you're in that same geographical area, it can be hard to make new friends.
Sure.
You make friends at work, whatever. You go out for drinks afterwards, totally fine. But when you come to like a gym like this and you really like give back, like, because you got to give. You can't just come and put your earphones in and think you're just gonna have like a great experience. Like you go like lift and say anything to anybody, and so like a gym like this where, like you said, you feel safe getting into like sparring. They're not gonna try and hurt you, but they're trying to hurt you.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. And then when you're done, it's like you have this instant bond. Like you said, you can go out, you have a great time, you have this connection, you have something to talk about. And I've seen so many like best friends or friendships that have, like, just for yourself as well, that have spawned from the gym. I mean, all of my business partners in my other gyms came to John's gym as like complete newbies, and we just developed a relationship on the mats, in the ring, whatever. And I think a lot of people look for that as well, or I think it's a reason why people come to these kind of gyms as well. Like they're bored at home, they want to do something different to get in shape. Maybe they watch UFC and like, that looks like fun.
Gotta be psychotic to sit there and watch it and be like, that looks like fun.
Yeah. Maybe I don't want to get punched and kicked, I'll do jiu-jitsu, or maybe I want to get punched and kicked, I'll do boxing and Muay Thai.
It's a really odd thing to enjoy getting punched and kicked, but I do. I lead with my head.
Right.
Fucking idiot. But I love it though. And another good point is that I think that the sense of community in a martial arts gym can't really be achieved in most other places. I mean, I feel like the bond that you get from beating up each other is it's just way different. Like I said, that level of respect that you gain for somebody, either it's, Muay Thai or even BJJ, just rolling around with somebody, the amount of respect that you gain is insane. And it's also probably the most humbling thing that you can do. Because, I mean, we joke about it all the time. Killer Kate, pound for pound, hardest hitter at the gym. Sometimes it's just like, Kate,
she's awesome.
Is everything okay at home? Like, do we need to talk? Like, sometimes you gotta be like, Kate, just tone it down just a little bit. She hit so hard, and so it's humbling. It's a 18-year-old girl who's smacking you around. It's extremely humbling, and that's also another cool aspect of it too, which sounds weird to other people, but it's cool to be able to spar with females and have them kind of whoop up on you and vice versa, and you just gain more respect for it, like just for females in general. And then you see, especially when you see Megan and Olivia constantly fighting, constantly in fight camp, always training, you just see that we're all capable of the same things, for sure. And that they can do it as well, and just the whole 9 yards. You just gain a ginormous respect.
And shout out to them for taking the initiative to come to a gym like this, staying with it, and developing their skills. Because everyone, when they first come, they don't know what they're doing, and they got to go through that, like, this sucks. I'm not, maybe I'm not good or whatever. When the coach or a fellow teammate is like, dude, you're hitting hard, like you're doing really good. Your technique is solid. So for them to go through all that, stay with it, and this is something that they can take for the rest of their lives.
Oh, sure.
It's not like a skill. Okay, it's not like a skill where you learn something, you're totally going to forget everything. If they ever put in a situation that was precocious situation, for the most part, I would feel confident in their abilities. You know what I mean? So that's awesome as like building the community up. That's shout out to them as well for staying with that.
I think that's important. Everyone should be able to defend themselves.
For sure.
And not going around picking fights. And that's another thing too.
Exactly.
That's kind of I don't know if it's necessarily a misconception, but people who fight, people who compete, don't really enjoy fighting outside of the competition or outside the gym. It's more of that. It's more of it's actually kind of the opposite, complete opposite actually. Really, we're actually usually way more chill than most people out in public. It's just one of those things that, well, if you want to try, then, but it's never, usually you don't see a lot of fighters just picking fights out in public because you have actual confidence. It's not a, I might be able to whoop his ass. It's probably no, I probably would be able to whoop it. It's a little bit different. Like, we always talk about Peter from Ambush in San Antonio. We always talk about him. When he probably walks around, like when he's out of the bar or whatever, he probably has not a worry. not a worry. I mean, you just gain that confidence, and you don't pick fights. You're not looking for a fight. It's just more so being able to defend yourself. And then from the female aspect in general, I think that's just super important because really Megan and Olivia are going to whoop up on most dudes 200 and less. It's like, unless they're just ginormous, it's completely different. But 200 pounds and less, they're probably putting the hands on you. And that's cool for them because they can feel a little bit more safe. They can feel better about going out. And it's unfortunate they have to feel that, or unfortunate that women have to feel that way. But
parents feel that. Parents, especially with a kids class or if they bring in a teenager, that's something that we like to relay because what they're afraid of is their kid is going to be like fighting in school. And first off, we don't allow it. I mean, I have kicked people out of the gym because they got into altercations at school. It's mostly like kids jiu-jitsu people, kids. So there's always there's always an outlier, and that's like 1 in thousands. Okay, so it's not like very often, but it's so true because once you get popped, so we're right by Shooter's Bar and Grill. And before we put that wall up, dude, we would have at least probably once a month, someone come in and be like, my buddy and I were talking over there, and we got to settle this. We'll sign a waiver. We'll pay whatever. Can we get in the ring and just squash this beef? And, of course, we're like, nah, bro. Like, but there have been times where I'm like, damn, I'm just tempted to see these two people go at it. You know? Because it's going to last how long? A minute?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
The cardio.
That's another thing people don't recognize or understand.
Right.
Fighting for 3 minutes, 3 rounds it's
intense.
Exhausting. Doing those 3 rounds when we were helping Brandon get ready for his pro debut, 3 rounds back-to-back 5-minute rounds.
People don't realize. You know,
it's
they don't realize.
Nuts.
Oh, you know, I kick his butt, or I do this, I do that, or, you know, the person watching UFC, why didn't you do that?
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Like, just go to a gym and try for, like, you know, for when I first started jiu-jitsu, I couldn't last 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Like, someone put me in their closed guard, and I was like, what the hell is this? And they were laughing at me, and we were all having a good time, but it was like, you don't know until you step in.
Yep.
So it's like, in a way, it's like, you know, you're like keeping them safe. If someone ever approached you and they wanted to start an altercation, it's like, you don't know what you don't know. It's like, you know, you're not going to last 30 seconds if we go to hands. And it sounds like a little bit egotistical to sound like that, but it only comes from experience.
Yeah.
And you can't get that from sitting on the couch.
Swinging full force at somebody is exhausting.
Yeah.
You got 3 to 5 punches in you full force before you're dying. If your cardio is just not there, you got 5 punches before you're like it's a lot. And then same thing for jiu-jitsu, like sudden bursts of energy. That takes a lot. You have another grown person on top of you, and you're trying to move their entire body weight. It's exhausting. It's not the same as benching 155 pounds and, you know, repping it out. It's not the same. Yeah. It doesn't work the same.
I thought of like you hear like Spartan race and stuff like this. I thought it'd be cool to develop some. I just don't know how I would do it, but like, like CrossFit, they have like challenges, or they have the CrossFit games and stuff like that. I wish there could be something where people could come and experience boxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, where they can stay safe, they'll be safe, but they get to like see what it's really like, and there's a prize for whoever lasts the longest, or whatever the case may be. Because I think if you gamify it, I think more people would be open to come and trying it out. But I think a lot of people, they think, I'm just going to go and get beat up at this gym. Yeah. So like when you start off by saying about the vibe, once people realize the vibe, then it's like, okay, like their guard is down. They're like, okay, I can learn here. Yeah. People aren't out to beat me up or that kind of a thing. And it's a good feeling.
Oh, yeah. And that's a good point, too, because the energy at the tournament is completely different. Yes. And also, it's really calming in there. It's weird. It's like, again, it goes kind of back to what we were saying. So it's not even just a confidence that you can defend yourself. It's also, it's also humbling in the sense of you don't know what the other person knows either. Especially when you walk into a martial arts gym, there's so many walks of life, there's so many different looking people, and they're just completely random group of bunches. Yeah. And that just shows you that really it doesn't matter what they look like at the bar, it doesn't matter how swole they are, it doesn't matter how small they are, because Brandon's not a big dude. No. It doesn't matter how skinny they are, or whatever it is, whatever you want to prejudge somebody on, you never know what that person knows either. And so that kind of goes back also to the whole fighters don't really pick fights, because you might fuck around and mess with Brandon because he looks tiny at a bar, and then you get your ass whipped and you're like, damn. Right. Yeah, it's so you learn that in a martial arts gym as well, because it's just so many different walks of life, so many different looks, so many different types of people. It's just a bunch of misfits, and we're all just bounded together, and all of us are different and the whole 9 yards, and you just never know what somebody else knows. The people that look the scariest that come in never last. Oh, true. It's like this weird thing. It's true. Let's just say like the biker dude or whatever. We're not like intimidated looking people. No. We're probably like the most like not. Yeah. But it's like but we love it. We'll train. But the person that comes in like, okay, let's just say the stereotypical like me to have tattoos. Like someone that from a distance you're like, I don't want to mess with that person. Yeah. They don't ever last.
I mean, I don't know anybody in the gym that kind of has that vibe, honestly.
Not really anybody.
But they've tried. But it's this weird, like, humbling thing that I guess they're just not ready for.
I think that's kind of what it is. I don't think they can actually handle that humbling experience. Getting your ass whooped is entirely humbling. Like,
Totally.
it's a different type of humbling. I talk about it all the time. I feel like everyone should get their ass whooped once. Because it's a humbling, especially when it's someone who you don't think could whoop your ass, or if you're a man and it's a woman who whoops your ass, or someone way smaller than you, whatever it is, it gives you a whole different perspective on the world.
Totally.
I mean, you stop fucking with people. You're just like, oh no, I'm good.
I'm
good.
Chill.
Like,
you're chill.
and that's a good point. Maybe they're just not ready for that type of humbling. Yeah. Because you see people who are like, oh man, I can't wait to spar, and you see some of us.
I want to do UFC.
Yeah, you see some, you have some of us veterans who are like, all right. Yeah, okay, sparring. And then Brandon's like, all right, you can spar now. And then that first day of sparring, they're like, I don't want to do this no more. And then you don't see them no more. They can't hit.
And it's sad.
It is, yeah, because you should be able to take that humbling, like, and get better.
Totally.
And it is kind of sad. I never even thought about it like that too, but it is though, because it's
like maybe, you could be you could be like who you are, but also this. But like, let's say someone comes in as like a badass, whatever, and then they get humbled. You probably won't have that character of yourself anymore. Yeah. You still will have it, but it'll be like more internal than it will be like a show.
Yes.
And I think that's a big difference. Shout out to one of my buddies, Charles. He he's very like, let's say dark, Black Sabbath, like metal, wakes up in the morning and like, but he does jiu-jitsu. He comes very humbly, big dude too, like, does jiu-jitsu, taps people out, gets tapped out, and if you looked at him from a distance, you wouldn't want to mess with him. But he's like the softest, nicest guy. One of our instructors, Nate, he looks like a Viking from a distance. But if you get to know him, he's like probably the biggest teddy bear in the gym. I love those kind of stories. Yeah. You know what I mean? Those are the kind of things I like to hear. But you were talking about the tournaments too. I remember my first tournament in jiu-jitsu. I was like so nervous, not to compete. I was just nervous to like go into the arena because I thought everyone was gonna be like bumping into you, like, hey, what the hell, like watch where you're going, kind of a thing. Yeah. Okay. And it was like the most respectful.
It's complete opposite.
It
couldn't be any more different than that.
You're right.
It literally couldn't be any more different than that. Everyone winning the tournament was cool, but it didn't even scratch the surface of the best part of the tournament, which was putting on a show and having other competitors telling you that was a great fight, or that was the fight of the night, or they loved it. Like that was the best part of the tournament. Winning it was just the side piece. Like going in there, putting on the show, and earning the respect of every single person of the audience, whether they were a fighter or just a fan or a family member of somebody else, whatever it was, gaining the respect of them was way cooler than winning the tournament.
And they'll give you your flowers too.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? They're not like, we're not going to talk to that person.
That was the thing too, and that's another good point. It's just everyone will give you your respect. Yeah. Everyone will compliment you. Everybody you walk by will compliment you. Nobody in there has a big enough ego to not do that. And if they do have a big enough ego, it doesn't last that long.
Correct.
And that's a good point where you say like those like stereotypical like scary people come in and they don't make it because of that. And on the flip side of that too, what it also shows you is that when you see some of those bigger people come in or those scarier people come in and you see them hitting the bag on their first day, you're also kind of like, most people really don't know how to throw a punch. Totally. You walk around with your invisible lat syndrome. However, throwing a punch is really foreign to you. Yeah. And so it's like you said, those people that put on that badass show. Yeah. I think it's just way better to just feel like a badass on the inside.
Absolutely.
Than to put on some kind of show.
The quiet confidence.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. For sure.
And it just gives more meaning to that whole, it's the quiet ones you have to worry about.
Yeah,
exactly. It's the person not talking shit. It's the person standing there like, all right, you get one free one.
It's
that kind of person where you're like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then another thing, Anybody with cauliflower ears, just don't do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Cauliflower. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Right.
It's gonna be a bad day.
Sure.
Just don't do it. You can't fake those.
Yeah.
You didn't get that from a month of wrestling.
No.
That's not a thing. That's a year's worth of wrestling. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. That's just a tip for everybody.
Yeah, you'll end up on your back for sure. Yeah.
And it won't be fun.
Yeah.
The grip strength of wrestlers and jiu-jitsu guys, when they get a hold of you, it's not fun.
No. Yeah.
It's not fun. And when you got to learn the front push kick, keep them away.
Yeah.
How'd you get started? Like, how did this whole thing come to fruition?
So I used to live in Vegas, and I started it. You guys were talking about rooms ago. I started a furniture and mattress business out of college.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to college in Michigan, went to like a little private school in Michigan, and I started a business while I was in college in Vegas, had my buddy run it. Went out to Vegas. I lived there for like 6 years.
Okay.
Got married, got divorced, all that. Did the whole Vegas thing. And when I got divorced, I was super out of shape. I was like 270 pounds. I'm basically like 50 pounds heavier than I am now.
Okay.
And I used to love UFC, and I was like, I don't really want to get punched and kicked. That's not really my thing, but let me try the grappling thing. I used to wrestle around when we were in high school. And I went to my first school, first I went to a school that was like all private lessons, and I was paying like crazy amount. I was paying like $700 a month. I shouldn't even know. It was an old Gracie school. Come to find out, it was like a scam. The guy was like Carlson Gracie is one of the sons, and it was his son. So it was like, the pitch was great. Like, you're learning from the source kind of thing. Yeah. But it was all private lessons. There was no sparring, and I was just there for like a month. And while I was there, my instructors were talking about this guy, Robert Drysdale. And he had just won this big competition called Abu Dhabi. It's probably the #1 grappling event. And so I went over there, and you were talking about humbling. I rolled with this kid. He was maybe like 15, 16 pounds. In fact, I saw him at a tournament here in Austin.
The one recently? The big one?
No, it was an IBJJF tournament. I think it was like last year.
Okay.
And he was just in it, and I was like, dude, Christian. It was like wild, because it's been like 10 years. But this kid was like 15, 16 years old. I was 270. I'm like about 6'3", 270. And my instructor at the time was like, okay, John, I want you to roll with Christian. I was like, dude, you sure about this? Like, I'm going to smash this kid. Like, I didn't want to like hurt this kid. He's like, no, it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah. Literally in like 5 minutes, he tapped me out 10 times. And I have this, I was like looking up at the ceiling at the lights. I'm like, whatever this is, I'm in 100%. I was like, if this kid can do this to me, I'm in 100%. So I paid like a year up front, got into it, and then Drysdale started doing his like affiliations, and it changed my life. The first year I lost 65 pounds, got my confidence back. I just been divorced, so I was like kind of feeling low, out of shape, kind of like by myself essentially, and got my confidence back, started dating again, and I was like, I would love to give this to other people. And so I sold my furniture and mattress business and moved out to Austin and looked around at a couple different places. And where we're at now is the first place I looked at. And it used to be an old gym. It used to be LA Boxing.
Okay.
Basically, if you take the mats away, the bags were there, the ring was there, and some other stuff. Of course, we just did a big remodel. But so it ended up being the space that we rented, and what happened was someone actually came behind me and wrote like a check to the landlord to take it over, and I was like, fine, like, it wasn't meant to be, the whole thing. So I traveled for like a month, and then halfway through they called me back and like the guy's check bounced. And I was like, all right.
Boom.
I was like, I'll take
Meant
it,
to
but
be.
I was like, all right, but I want a few more concessions. So that's how it started. It started with really, I had no idea what to do. I'd never run a gym before. I had no idea what the hell was in store for me, but I just knew I wanted to give like this experience to others, and I just kind of started with that and figured it out as we went along the road.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So how'd you open up a mattress and furniture store? Just to backtrack real quick.
Yeah. So I've always, I guess I can say I've always been like entrepreneurial minded, And I had these friends. I was in multi-level marketing. So I used to sell this thing called prepaid legal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but so it was basically like legal insurance. And along the way, like, okay, there's a lot of bad things like pyramid schemes and all that kind of stuff. Totally get it. But like all the conferences I went to and the speakers and and I was in school for like marketing, but I didn't really learn crap. You know, it was like basically just like textbooks.
Sounds like school.
It sounds like school. Right? All the things that I really learned was in these conferences, and throughout being in these conferences, I met met this guy Matt Turner, and he had a business in Indianapolis, a mattress business, and he was basically showing me and a couple other of our buddies how to do it. And he was getting a little cut, and I never really wanted to work for anybody, and I wanted to have my own business, and so I started with mattresses, and then we eventually went to furniture, and it was cool. I failed twice. Like I started it. It was doing okay, but I had I got like a nice place. I decked out the place, and I just had too much overhead.
Mm-hmm.
I had to shut it down, and I actually went and sold timeshare. And while I was selling timeshare, I started the business back up, trying it a different way. It failed. I shut it down, and I went and was a bellman and a limo driver at the Golden Nugget in Las Vegas. And then while I was doing that, I was like, let me try this again, because I hated working for other people. I used to see like the two owners, they had sold like some online travel website for like hundreds of millions of dollars. And I used to see them like, with their hot women and they're driving limos and they're going all the fights in Vegas. And I was like, dude, this is what I want to be doing. I don't want to be sitting here driving people around, So I tried to do the mattress business again, and this time it was successful. And then we just expanded, and yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, that takes a powerful mind to fail twice at something like that, something that can lead to a lot of financial stress.
Yeah.
And keep pushing through it. How do you do that?
Well, for me, it was like I hated what I was doing. Like, as long as I had, I had this like one thing that I knew, which was like how to run a mattress business, but obviously not very well. But I just like every time I failed, I just didn't do the same thing over again. And then I got frustrated, basically working for someone else. And I was like, let me just try again. And eventually just, trial and error, not doing the same mistakes over again, learning from your mistakes. And we finally found a successful model, and we were killing it. We were doing really well, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is around the time when Vegas was like the fastest growing city in the country. This is like 2003 to 2006 and 7.
Okay.
And then the economy took a tank everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then our business kind of took a tank, but it was still pretty good. My supplier was in Vegas, so like whenever I needed like extra supplies, they would, it was really quick. So it was an awesome business. I mean, it was not awesome, but it was at the time when I was young, driving around Vegas and like dropping off matches, meeting like pretty interesting people. It was cool. It was cool. But yeah,
Vegas is a pretty hot furniture spot too. They have, if I'm not mistaken, that's where the one of the largest furniture expos is.
Yeah.
They do it there in Vegas, where
the World Market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was being built when I was out there. So yeah.
It's a good spot to do it.
Yeah.
And like you said, to have your supplier right there is just that much better. And obviously good timing with the boom of Vegas.
Yeah, it was perfect timing. And it's kind of similar with the boom of Austin. At the time when I came out here, Austin wasn't really like a fastest growing city, but it started like picking up steam in 2010 is when I started. But where we're at, like over here, this is like basically nothing. Well, you from Colombia, so this was like hardly anything. But now it's like everything's up here.
There's so much to do, and this is also like, in my opinion, this is the best location to live, because I'm downtown in 15 minutes. I live right here. I can see the highway.
Yes.
Like it's boom downtown. And then if I want to go up north, that's fine too. And it's just like
it's quiet up here.
It's quiet. But if you want to go join the scene, it's a real quick drive, super easy. And I think this is like the most ideal spot to live. And
when I moved here, I lived on Congress, and it was great because I was, single. I was young. It was easy to meet people. But the commute was like 30 minutes. And in the beginning, it was cool because it was like a stress reliever. Like, okay, I can't do anything while I'm driving. Like, on the way home, I get to like think and relax, because it was pretty hectic in the beginning when I was trying to get the business off the ground. But now I live like 5 minutes up the road. I call it like family land up here. Yeah. It's great. You know what I mean? So it's perfect.
A little bit more chill.
Totally.
A little bit older.
Yeah. Yeah.
But downtown's fun too, though.
Yeah.
And so, do you read any books? Like, how'd you kind of get into? How'd you kind of learn how to become this successful entrepreneur?
Yeah. So books, mentors, mentorship. You know, I started off with, I think most people start off with like Think and Grow Rich, or at least my kind of generation. Sure. Think and Grow Rich is one of my favorite books. How to Win Friends, Influence People.
Yep. Got that sitting on my nightstand right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to just start it over.
Right.
Start it over and actually read it and take notes. Yeah. There's a lot to digest in that book.
There is.
And everyone references that book.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Because he opened up his own school, and people. I was just reading a quote from it was from Warren Buffett, I believe, or a quote from somebody else kind of like that, and they said, I don't even have my 2 masters on my wall, I don't have my bachelor's on my wall, I just have my what the fuck is that,
diploma kind of thing?
Diploma from Dale Carnegie's communication class, or a school or whatever. That's what they have on the wall. That's what they give their success to, their ability to communicate, their ability to talk, their ability to meet people, to network. That's what those guys give their success to. No one's ever said like, oh, going to this school was the reason why I've gotten here, especially these uber rich people. You know, you don't see Jeff Bezos talking about what school he went to or anything like that. They just have this ability to communicate and to talk to people, and then they just keep leveling up.
Rich Dad Poor Dad's another good one. It's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the beginning it was like I said earlier, these conferences I used to go when they were teaching us how to sell with the multi-level marketing. You know, one of the things I'm kind of like not transitioning, but I'm kind of like I'm pushing myself into a new phase of like entrepreneurship. And I remember I had this mentor, his name was Buck Reed, and he would say there's 3 ways. How to get rich is like with other people's money, other people's ideas, and other people's efforts. And that was from like a multi-level marketing conference, and I'll never forget that. I was like, damn, like that makes a lot of sense. And I'm like kind of like my brothers, you know. It's like I'm more like I want to do the things. So now I'm kind of more backing up and trying to be more of a not in the business, but like managing the business and like buying businesses. Like I'm looking to buy a business right now. I'm supposed to meet the guy tomorrow. The next day, it's like a boat. It's not timeshare. It's a boat. It's not rental. It's a boat club where you pay a monthly fee and you have access to boats and blah blah blah. This guy wants to sell it over here in Lake Travis, and I could do the business. Like I could operate the business, but I'm trying to get away from that mentality and more like buy businesses. So I've been, I bought courses. I bought courses and to learn how to do it. Like one of my major business, probably the one that brings in the most income is my Amazon business. I have like a fairly large Amazon business, and that was just like I saw an ad on Facebook, and this guy was teaching how to like import products from China, and I always wanted to have my own like gi for jiu-jitsu, and I was like, if I fail selling this stuff on Amazon, at least I can sell it at the gym. So I started like my own brand, Lone Star Gis. It flopped. I sold some, but it flopped. But along the way, I picked up some really good information, and so. Now we have a really big and thriving Amazon business. We ship containers from Thailand, so it's really kick-ass, honestly.
Oh yeah, how'd you start that?
Yeah, just from that course, and then just growing into and learning different avenues on how to make money on Amazon. A lot of courses there's like private label where you have to like develop your own like speaker or your own microphone or whatever, and you have to try and build a brand, and it's really hard. And and there's other models, but the model that I took is more the wholesaling route. So we are the largest importer of one of the largest Muay Thai brand in the world. Basically, we're the largest importer here in America.
Okay.
And so we have a great relationship. We were out. My girlfriend Jasmine and I were out in Thailand for a vacation, and we had just started a relationship with the brand, and I flew out there and met the CEO, and a year later everything started working out, and the pandemic was during the pandemic, we got a couple SBA loans to grow the business while everyone was kind of falling off. And so that's been really, really beneficial. And that business is awesome. I'm looking to expand that business as well.
Oh, yeah. You just keep putting yourself out there, too. And
Just keep yourself out there, yeah.
Man, how do you... I admire that. I'm just not... I try.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I move at my own pace. Like, I feel like I'm still making some moves, but not like...
Yeah.
Like, you're much more...
Like, what have you thought... Like, you've tried to start things, and then you've reached a point where it's like,
Yes and no, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to do this.
Yeah, that's great.
Trying to get my real estate properties going.
Yeah.
But it's kind of, it's a little bit more of a slower process for me. I have to kind of go at my own comfort.
Sure.
Own comfort before I get too overwhelmed and too scared.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And so, like, I try to branch out and try to reach, and try to do those things, but I get mad anxiety.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And so I try, and every day is a fucking struggle for me. I'm like, okay, today let's do this, let's do that.
Well, the real estate, we were talking about real estate before we got on here. That's an area where I've always been like, dude, I should be in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I have some land in Utah, like in a ski resort area, but I guess like a bare land. It's like, I can't really build on it because there's not a paved road that goes to it. It's like basically a muddy road.
Yeah.
I bought courses on wholesaling. I know the concept, but something about it gives me like anxiety.
Interesting.
It's weird. It's like, I got to go buy this home. I don't know if I'm going to sell this thing. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars I'm putting myself on the line for. And then what happens if I don't get it? Or it's like the value add idea where you buy a crappy home and you like remodel it. And like, what happens if something goes wrong with like the remodeling? And so, my girlfriend Jazz is like, why are you trying to do all these things? Why don't you just give somebody that wants to do this money?
Yeah. And
then be like a passive investor. And that's like boring to me. It's like, I hate to say it, like, it's like boring, but she's right. But it's like, I want to do it, kind of a thing.
That's interesting. You do all these things, and that one thing just gives you the EBGBs.
Yeah, like apartment complexes.
Yeah.
We went to a.
Apartment syndicates. That's the one thing that I've looked into too.
Yeah.
You just give X amount of money. There's about 10, 15 people, and then you get money every month.
Right. It sounds super easy, but it's like you're trusting someone to manage it.
True.
And then if they have a track record, they usually have a big list. And if it's a big list, then they're more like, I don't need you.
Yeah.
But you kind of want the person to need you because then you get a little bit more of a higher return. They're going to give you a little bit of a less return. There's a guy here in Dallas, or in Texas, the main apartment guy is like, his name's Brad Sumrock. I don't know if you ever heard, but he had a conference in Dallas, and we went there. And it was great. It was great information. You couldn't leave it like starting to invest in apartments, but his pitch was like, all right, for like 15 grand or 20 grand, you can be a part of my group and I'll walk you through this, be your mentor. And we looked into that, but again, it's just like, there's something that stopped me. And then I just didn't go through with it. I don't know. You gotta enjoy it.
Yeah. Maybe it's just not your game.
Right. Something about like, that's the other thing. It's like, do I want to go and like look at buildings all day? Like, not really.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to go look at homes all day? Not really. I'd rather invest in like like there's property managers like Houston Turnkey Properties is the company where you can basically buy new builds or buy their homes, and it's turnkey in the sense that they'll manage it for you and they just give you the check. That's kind of like, all right, I get it. You don't get as much return. You're not going to have a large equity, but whatever. If you have money sitting around and you want to make a little bit extra return, then your bank account is giving you, it's a good option too. Sure. But now they're like all sold out of homes. It's hard to even find a home now.
Especially right now, especially in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Especially in Texas.
It's tough. Insane. And it's getting expensive here.
Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for a home right now. In Cedar Park, we were looking, and it was like homes are like $350 are now $430.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like, damn. It's like.
It's the new norm, though. That's where we're at. Where we're at.
It gives me the heebie-jeebies because, like, I lived through Vegas. Like, when I was
That's what you were saying.
Yeah, so I had a home with my ex-wife in Vegas, and I'll never forget, we were, like, sitting in this home, and so we bought it for, like, $350, and we're sitting in this home, and I'm like, it's a nice home. It was 2-story, whatever, 2,300 square feet. And I'm like, this home is maybe worth 150.
Yeah.
And like legit market, like maybe worth 150. And so we got divorced. The home, thank God, was in only her name. And thank God, it's kind of bad for me to say, but whatever. Thank God, it was only her name. Yeah. Well, but thank God. And she had to short sell it for 150.
Oof.
So she took a bath on that. So I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen like people going up into just like a dirt lot. There's a mobile trailer dirt lot, and it's like a lottery to get homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen the buzz, and I feel like that was what Austin has just been going through. Maybe it's a little tapering a little bit now, but I don't want to buy it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, like I tell my girls, like is this gonna be our home base? I mean, who cares really when we buy? Just buy the thing. We're gonna be there for, let's just say, 30 years. We're gonna be there for long. It's gonna go up and down.
Sure.
We're gonna go through a crash. We're gonna go through a rise. It only matters if you're trying to sell the house.
Sure.
But if you just want to buy it to live, just get one that you feel comfortable living in. You know?
That seems fair. I
Right.
think that's sound advice.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily see the prices going down too much. They've staggered. They're not skyrocketing anymore. But with all the different things that are coming, they're building the Domain on this side of town.
Yeah.
They're building the new Bar Street.
Bar Street? What's that?
So it's right here on Buttercup.
Okay.
It's going to be a whole strand of bars.
Really?
This ginormous park. They're doing like a 2 million square foot park in Leander. So this area is just going to keep just getting so much. So what's really going to bring this down? It would take a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it would take a lot. And then you got Samsung going out there to Taylor. That's creating 200,000 jobs.
Yeah.
You got Tesla moving its full headquarters here.
Yeah.
Not just having the distribution center, but now having the full headquarters. That's bringing another X amount of people. What is
Apple building another campus over there? Almost done.
It's just like it would take a lot to crash it right now. Right now, it would, in order for those prices to just significantly drop back down. Right. I just don't.
Like in 2008, it's not the same scenario where they were pushing like subprime mortgages.
Yeah.
To people that were like, let's say, bartenders that were buying $500,000 homes. Now, like the buyers, I was talking to a real estate guy actually 2 months ago. The buyers seem strong.
Mm-hmm.
The buyers seem strong, but the values seem ridiculous. But if you come from California, like my brother has like.
Also, I'm paying cash.
Yeah, my brother has like a nice basic home in California, 1-story. In Imperial Beach, and it's like $750,000, maybe more now, $750,000, and the thing here would probably be like $200,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? I don't know what would cause it to tank.
True, and who knows what's going to happen anyways.
Exactly.
Like, there's so much unknown right now still.
Yeah. Then you're trying. Exactly. That's what I was telling Jazz. Like, so you got all that. Then you're trying to time the market.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, she's like, well, let's wait. I'm totally fine with waiting to buy a home, but it's like. Is that what we're like? Are we experts in timing?
But what if it gets more expensive?
What if it gets more expensive?
You know, it could go either way.
Yes.
It's like, okay, what if my house is not worth $380 and I brought it for $450?
Right.
Or what if I'm looking at $450 right now and it's $520 next year? Same time, it's like, uh-oh.
Isn't the Space Force? Isn't the Space Force coming to Austin? Isn't that where like the headquarters is?
I have no idea.
I thought
maybe
so. Yeah, I thought that's
there's a lot of stuff coming here.
A lot of
it's
stuff.
It's going to be a busy area soon. 10 years, this is going to be I think what's kind of cool, though, is it's still pretty spread out. You know, there's still a good amount of nature and a good amount of, like, hiking trails and things like that in Austin that I hope that they never touch. I hope that they just make people live further out. You know, and if you have to drive in, sorry, but there's like the green belt, all the hill area. I just hope they don't touch that. You know, I hope you keep that part because that's what makes the city awesome. It makes it awesome because you can go downtown, have fun, and then 10-minute drive, you can be dead in the woods for miles. And that's what makes it awesome here. And we still have that up here as well. You go 15 minutes north next to the gym, you got River Place. You know, you got that whole hiking trail 6 miles long. You go to Lake Georgetown, you got 22-mile hike. That's what makes this whole area so fantastic is that we have a wonderful scene of you can go bar hopping, you can go get good food, but you can also go hiking. You can also you can almost do anything here except for snow activities. Yeah, you can go to the lake still. You know, other than snow activities, we pretty much have it all. Yeah. And that's what makes it so awesome here. You don't feel like you need to go anywhere else because as Austin continues to grow, more and more artists are coming here. The comedy scene is getting huge here. Yes. There's endless things to do. Yeah. You know.
And there's a lot of roads here where it's like, you know, if you didn't notice, I'm sure you'll notice, but it's like the Parmer was kind of like this. You drive down, and on the left side is like business, apartment, boom, boom, boom. But on the right side, it's like grass, farms, cows. So there's like, you know, if you go to California, it's like on both sides, it's just massive. Yep. So, you know,
and that's what I'm getting at. I'm hoping that we keep some of that
the charm, right?
There's some, I guess, that you just can't keep. Yeah. But I hope like the green belt, those big areas that people know, I hope that we never touch those. Yeah. You know, that we keep it like the parks that are downtown, they've done a really good job with those. Zilker Park, you still have so many like just running trails, hiking trails.
You got to keep Zilker Park. I mean, what are you going to do? Get rid of Zilker? I mean, that'd be terrible.
That'd be terrible. Enough, you know, no, it'd be terrible. They already got rid of Graffiti Park. Yeah. You can't. Yeah, we can't touch no more.
There's a lot of skyscrapers. I mean, even on well, just those little little streets. I can't remember the name of it right now, but little streets where they have like it's a house, but it's like really a bar. Mm-hmm. You know, when I moved here in 2010, so it was kind of the bare beginning of that kind of thing. But that was to be like what Austin, you know, I remember there was a Docks on Congress. It was like open restaurant. They get rid of that. It's like now shopping centers and everything. Yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see how it all plays out.
I hope we keep the city as long as we can, like how it is. Yes. Even though it's changed a lot, even over the last 10, 15, 20 years. But even right now, there's still a decent balance. Yeah. You know, there's still a good amount of things that you can do indoor, outdoor. The food scene's only getting better and better. Yes. Especially the Asian food scene. I'm obsessed with Asian food.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And the Asian food scene continues to get better and better.
Which kind of Asian food? Like you like pho, you like sushi, you like Thai.
Pho is my absolute go-to. Okay. Pho is multiple times a week. Okay. I love Korean food, Thai food, Vietnamese food. My least favorite's probably Chinese food, unless I go to like an actual Chinese spot. Yeah, yeah. Like not like typical Chinese American restaurants, but places that actually serve authentic Chinese dishes. Or one of my favorite ones is First Chinese Barbecue in Chinatown, off of North Lamar. Okay. And the roast.
There's a Chinatown here in Austin?
Very small.
Okay, I was gonna say.
But there is though. Okay. But there's more and more spots popping up, like authentic spots popping up where you walk in, it's just all a singular culture. That's who's cooking, that's who's running it, the whole 9 yards. And First Chinese Barbecue is one of those places, and the barbecue pork and the roasted duck are just.
Oh, that sounds good.
They're just so phenomenal. My girlfriend is tired of me going to Asian spots at this point. She like the other night she was like, let's go to dinner. I was like, all right, cool. So let's, and she was like, we're not getting Asian food tonight. I was like, okay. I was like, damn. But I'd probably make her eat it like 3 times a week sometimes. Yeah. So it's, I love it. I love it. I go to H Mart, the food court in H Mart.
Dude, you're in the perfect location here. Yeah. You got H Mart, your work, the gym.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's perfect. It's the perfect trifecta. Yeah. And then, man, I love it. And the Asian food the scene is getting bigger and bigger. Places downtown, you have more and more spots. Like soup dumplings from Lynn's downtown is so good. Perfect. Okay. And then a new all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue place opened up. Those are always fun.
I love Korean barbecue.
Now, if we can just get a real hot pot spot.
Oh,
a place that serves
there used to be
great hot pot.
I don't know how good it was, but there used to be one on Anderson Lane. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. I think it was called it was over there by the Alamo Draft House. That's on Anderson Lane. There's Alamo Draft House. There's I think a Cover 2 or Cover 3 there is in that same shopping center, like a Verizon used to be there. But there's a hot pot there. Yeah.
I've never had it. I know of a Thai hot pot place. So it's a little bit different from traditional hot pot, but it's like a Thai twist on it that I haven't got to try yet. But they do pretty much just like hot pot in a bowl, and they like serve it to you already done. And so I kind of want to try that as well. Another really good pho spot is downtown on Riverside, 1618 Asian Fusion. They have a
you know all the spots.
Oh, I love, yeah. So I took all of my coworkers, and they have a beef rib pho.
Okay.
So it's a smoked Texas barbecue beef rib in the best pho broth you'll ever have. Okay. And they put the two together, and I was talking to the manager. He said it took him a year to develop this recipe.
Oh, wow.
And it's the perfect blend of flavors. It's authentic pho, but with a Texas barbecue flavor to it.
Whoa.
It's fantastic.
Okay, that may be one I try.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, filet mignon.
Yeah, it also has it also has some filet mignon in there as well. And then they give you an egg yolk on the side, and they take some of the broth and they melt the egg yolk with the broth, and then you pour it in on top as well, and just oh my gosh, it's so good.
It does sound good.
It's so good. And then I'll always go to like H Mart and just get different noodle packets and try them out. I made one not too long ago, some tom yum flavored noodles. If you've never had tom yum soup, it's amazing. Yeah, okay. A lot of people think it's like holistic, like a healing property soup. Like people drink it, people eat it when they're sick or whatever, and it's phenomenal. Any Asian soup, I'm always down for. You feel so good afterwards. So maybe there's some truth behind it. I don't know. But then pho, I love pho for breakfast.
For breakfast?
Yes.
Oh, wow, that's hardcore.
I know, so pho for breakfast, just because the collagen from the bone marrow broth, it just makes you feel so good for the day.
Okay.
It's just a great way to start the day. It's a light meal but it keeps you full for a good amount, so you can go get a bunch of stuff done. But no place here in Austin opens up that early.
Oh, right.
In Houston and Dallas, they open up at 7.
Really? Pho opens up at 7?
Oh, yeah. Wow. In, like, where, like, the Asian scene's huge, like Bel Air in Houston, that whole strip, where the Asian scene is just ginormous. I've went there once, and it's just Asian restaurant. And all the names are in their own language. The menus are in there in their own language, and then the English is in the subtitles, you know? And that's the spot. That's where you want to go.
That's where you want to go, right?
The place where you walk in and the prawns are still swimming in there. You got the lobsters still alive. Those are the places you want to go to. We got prawns. It was like $50 a pound.
Oh, wow.
And we got prawns at this place in Houston, and they're this big.
Whoa.
And they're so good. Just sweet, good. It's just delicious. I love it. I would ginormous food.
You're making me hungry.
Oh, I've given up on the whole like physique thing. I'm a ginormous foodie. I just love food too much. I love food too much. That's why I do CrossFit in the morning, Muay Thai at night, because otherwise it would not be good.
That's funny. Yeah, you work out so that you can eat those that way, right?
Yeah, I have to, because I love food too much.
I was addicted to sushi like you are to
pho. Oh yeah, sushi is. If I could afford it, I'd eat sushi almost every day.
Have you been to Tomo Sushi here?
Mm-mm.
Tomo Sushi is probably one of the best.
Tomo.
It's over on Parmer.
Okay.
It's open. Well, they kind of changed their hours because they were having staffing problems, but really good sushi.
Okay.
Tomo Sushi. When I lived in Vegas, my friend, he's passed away now, but we used to have a sushi review website called Sushi Nomads.
Mm-hmm.
We would travel around. Yeah, it was so much fun. We would travel around and rate and review sushi restaurants.
Oh yeah!
And then we would give them, like, instead of stars, we give them dragons, like 5 dragons. And
nice.
And then, like, if we gave it 5 dragons and the user gave it 5 dragons, it would go to like 5 golden dragons. Dude, it was so much fun. And actually, some restaurants would use our pages for them as their, like,
that's incredible.
Essentially their website.
Yeah,
but. We kind of stopped doing it, and there was a point in time I was like super broke because I couldn't even afford the hosting. I was like, I just let this thing fall off.
Yeah,
but, I used to be huge at this.
That's awesome. Have you been to is it Soto or Soho? Which one is this one right here?
Soto, I have, yeah.
Soto is, I love that place too. Yeah. And then there's a place downtown that not really anybody knows about. It's in like a insurance shopping center with like an Edward Jones. I guess that's not insurance, but like that kind of look. It's like this brick shopping center where it's just like a bunch of like financial places, and it's called Musashino Sushi.
Okay.
I
thought I've heard of it. Is it newer or has it been around for a while?
It's been around for a while. It's a hole in the wall. You can't even see it from the street because it's the building is a big square, but it's a cutout in the middle, and so you park in the parking garage and you come in and the restaurant is facing another building, and so you can't see it from the street, and so not a lot of people know it's there, but it's a really fancy sushi place. Everyone in there, it's just a really nice done spot, and it's legit. North Lamar in 20. Okay. Yeah, it's
that's what people told me about not Tomo, about damn, what's the sushi place? Uchi.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've never been.
I mean, I hate to like dog it, but it's like, I don't know.
I've heard it's more expensive than the actual food. It's too expensive.
Yeah, it's expensive, but it's not like the rolls are like this big, it's like a maki roll. It's very like small. I like Korean style sushi where it's like thicker, it's like sauces. There's a place called Haiku that I just found out about over Central Austin, over there by Barnes and Noble, the new Porsche dealership over here. Yeah, you would have seen it.
That Porsche dealership is beautiful.
It's massive,
and huge.
You got the cars up on the top there. It's crazy. It looks like little Matchbox cars up there. But they have this land and sea roll. And it's like, I forget but on the top is like Wagyu steak. It's like seared. Mm-hmm. Dude, it is so freaking good.
The Wagyu sushi rolls are phenomenal.
So good.
Phenomenal. A place that's not like spectacular or anything, but right here in Rock and Roll Sushi.
Yeah. The all you can eat one over here, right? Yeah.
It's not by any means a top place whatsoever, but they have a ghost pepper roll that is phenomenal, and it will light your ass up.
Oh, yeah.
But they also have a Wagyu roll too that is really good.
Is that the all you can eat one?
I don't know if they do all you can eat. They might, but I know they show the UFC fights sometimes. So I've been there for the UFC fights. It's the only time I've went. Okay. I was gonna say something. I just lost my train.
Sorry, the rock and roll.
I was gonna before that when you were talking about the Korean style sushi. No, it'll probably come back to me. I don't know. Yeah. But
yeah, the Uchi sushi was like, it's like, yeah, go for it.
I remember now.
Go for it.
The sushi bar ATX. Have you had have you seen it or have you heard of it?
Is this the thing that's like private?
Yeah, so it's only 10 people.
Yeah.
They have a waiting list of like 20,000 people now, thanks to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, right. It's like I Dream of Jiro, Hero, whatever. Have you seen that on Netflix?
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
Both of y'all. Okay.
The Asian love. You got to see it.
Okay, what is this?
I don't even want to spoil it. It's like,
what's it about?
It's about this very like well-known sushi master in Tokyo, Japan, and he has it's like in a train station, I think. Yeah, Hero Dreams of Sushi.
Oh. Okay.
And it's a preset menu. And you go. And it's like one slice of nigiri sushi, and it's like every slice kind of
$270.
Dude, that's the cheap version, I think. I think it's like $450 or something.
Okay.
But every it's supposed to be like every new slice like leads into the next. It's a show. It's a little show. It's a show. It's a little.
It's the experience, though.
It's the experience, yeah. But the way they do it, it's like you gotta watch it. It's really good.
Okay, I will watch that.
I think that's where they got it from. Honestly, I don't know. It's
possible.
Yeah.
They started in LA. They did one there, very successful, and then they moved here as the city was growing. They started last year, and it's just 10 people allowed in there. It's $120 a person. It's a 17 course, and it's supposed to just be phenomenal. And they tell you about the roll that they're making while they're making it. They put a show on in front of you, the whole 9 yards. I always have the notifications on my phone. So if a spot opens up, I already told my girlfriend, if a spot opens up, we're going. I don't want to hear it. I don't care if you're not in the mood for sushi. We're going. Because I've heard it's phenomenal. And it's in it's in the back of some restaurant, I think. Like you walk through some place and then you go into this private room behind it. Or I don't know, something. But
if they don't do it that way, that's how they should do it.
Yeah. It's like a little secret society back there of just sushi creators.
I love that. I love that experiential marketing kind of thing. I love they can take something if we took that sushi and put it in like whatever Tomo Sushi or Rock and Roll, we'd be like, oh, this is really good.
Sure.
But they give you that one piece, they tell you the story about it or whatever the case may be, and so the experience of it is what it's all about.
It makes it worth it too.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why people go to Hibachi Girls.
Yeah.
It's the same thought process. The food is good, but if you just got that plate of food without the show, it would just be another plate of food.
Totally.
It's still really good, but it's so much better when you see the person in front of you cooking it and spinning the spatulas and the whole 9 yards, flipping an egg in their hat.
The rice in your mouth.
You catching shrimp. It just adds to that experience and just makes the food that much better. So it's genius.
It is genius.
It's genius.
I saw another one. I don't remember what. I can't think of the style of food it is, but when I see it, I'll show it to you. The same kind of concept, but it was some other kind of style of food. So it seems like this is kind of like a catching on way of doing it. I mean, if you're the person doing this, is perfect. You have a set number. You already know the prepaid.
Yep.
You're in the. It's almost like the dingier the better kind of a thing. You know what I mean? I think it's genius.
It seems like there's not a lot of downside.
No,
I did see, I think on South Lamar there's an Ethiopian spot called the Taste of Ethiopia, and I haven't been, and I want to go. I've heard Ethiopian food is phenomenal. I heard DC is the spot to get. Is it Ethiopian food?
That's over there by the stadium, right? Is that the one you're talking about? It's on the right-hand side of 35. Are we talking about the same one?
Not on 35, no. It's on South Lamar.
Okay.
Maybe there's 2 locations. I'm not entirely sure. I would like to go. And then we found a Thai spot that's on South Lamar as well called Super Thai. And it sounds and looks like this super cheesy American Thai spot, but it's not. It's an authentic Thai spot. And we went in there the other night, and they have Thai beer, Japanese beers. They have a bunch of different things to try, and the food was just so good.
Okay.
It was really good.
I haven't had good Thai, honestly, since I've been here.
Interesting. That's the spot then.
I've been to the one over here by Title Box.
Yeah, Muang Thai, I think. It's okay. It's fine.
That's what I thought, too.
It's fine, right?
Yeah.
But no, if you want good Thai, that place downtown, Super Thai, or Sway. Have you been to Sway? Oh, well then, never mind.
Okay.
That's where you need
Sway?
to go.
Okay,
Sway.
I'll try it out.
Sway is like family-style seating. So you just sit at this ginormous table with a bunch of other people, just like you would at a hibachi grill. And it's really good. Really good. That's the spot to go to.
Where's it
at? There's actually one in the Domain. I've never been to the one in the Domain, but the one downtown is on 3rd or 1st. And it's it's good.
That's the spot.
They have valet parking. You just drop your car off, boom, hop in there. It's phenomenal. What?
It says it's permanently closed.
Which one?
Downtown.
Dude, nuts.
There is one in Bee Cave, Westlake Hills.
That makes sense. It's a little bit
Maybe
pricier.
Yeah.
And in the Domain. I would hope the one in the Domain is still good, but it's iffy.
Yeah.
But it's
worth it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good. More Super Thai downtown.
I'll try it out.
It's all in colorful letters. You can't miss it.
Okay.
And then another good thing, ramen. Ramen's great too. The one in Jinya and the Domain's actually it's actually a pretty good spot.
Okay.
It's not Ramen Tatsuya downtown, but it's a lot closer.
Okay.
So, you like ramen?
It's
okay.
It's all right. Yeah, it's not what I go out to. Yeah,
Fair
it's not
enough.
my main choice, but yeah.
Fair enough.
My girl loves ramen. Whenever we go eat sushi, she gets the ramen. Like over here, Osaka, she'll go get the ramen there. But yeah.
Okay. It's
Yeah.
not your thing.
Yeah.
Like pho better.
I never really got into pho either.
Okay.
I tried, dude. I tried it. I used to be. My ex-wife, she loved it, and I used to try it. And I was like, dude, something about like the flavor of it. I just cannot. But the Texas one sounded pretty good.
That
with the
you'll probably like that. It's
yeah.
just this big ass beef rib in there, and the key to do it is to eat the rest while the beef rib is soaking in there, and then you just pull the bone out, and all the meat just.
That sounds great.
It's amazing. It's so good.
I had a friend. We went to speaking of bones. I never seen this before. Where we went to I think it was Pluckers actually, and he eats the bones with the chicken. You ever heard of this?
So I eat the caps. I don't eat the really tough part of the bone, but I eat the ends.
The ends.
Yeah, with the bone marrow.
Yeah. He's from Venezuela, and he was like, "Yeah, that's how we do it in Venezuela. Just chomping on the bones."
I leave like that much left of the chicken bone.
Because the marrow, is that what you like about it? Or?
I think it's the marrow. I assume it is. But yeah, the caps on the end. Oh man, especially when I put it in the air fryer and they get a little crunchy.
Yeah. Really?
I love it. Yeah, I leave nothing left with the chicken wing. It probably takes me about 10 to 15 minutes to eat chicken wings because I will devour every edible part that doesn't hurt my tooth. Like, it's the only way to eat chicken wings. I'm trying to get my money's worth.
Yeah, right. The whole thing.
So I eat it all, yeah. Oh, man. Food. Food's amazing. Food just warms my soul.
Oh, yeah. There's some great food here in Austin for sure. Great restaurants.
It's getting there.
Yeah.
It's getting there. We're only getting better and better. That's the exciting part of everybody moving here. Is the food just keeps getting better and better, and there's just more and more spots, and less average and mediocre places are going to be able to stay open because you're just not going to be able to compete.
Look at Torchy's. I mean, I don't know how you feel about Torchy's, but that place is banging.
Oh yeah,
and
you can't go wrong with Torchy's.
They're expanding everywhere. It's nuts. Good for them.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Torchy tacos.
Hot Dotties too, expanding. I love
another great spot. So I've heard, haven't been yet. But this is on my list. I have a food trying list.
Okay.
And that I try to knock places off. And something that's on the list is Jew Boy Burgers. Mm-hmm. And supposedly they are phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big Habdadi's fan too.
Yeah.
But I've heard that there are some spots that have popped up that kind of top Habdadi's. Habdadi's.
I like Mighty Fines too.
Oh, you can't go wrong.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't go wrong with Mighty Fine, Five Guys. I like Muya because they're French fries. I think Muya's fries are phenomenal, and they give you like this much in just a regular fried thing. And you're just like, all right, cool. But my issue with those places like Mighty Fine and Muya and Five Guys is you're spending the same as going to Habdadi's almost at this point. They're so expensive now.
Yeah.
You go to Muya's and it's like $15 just for me, and I'm like,
serious?
I'm like, damn.
Muya's is $15 for a burger and some fries?
It's getting up there. Yeah, wild. It's getting up there. P. Terry's is my go-to. I just had P. Terry's.
Dude, no, come on. P.
No?
Terry's?
I love it.
That place is garbage.
What? No!
Hold on. Somebody pull up a picture of Pete Terry's.
No!
This is the worst burger ever.
No!
I don't even think you're going to be able to see the burger in the picture.
What?
It's like if you go to their website.
I'm assuming you don't like In-N-Out as well then.
No, I like In-N-Out. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, go to user pictures.
Gosh.
Let me see.
Look at that.
All right, this is not.
Beautiful. That's what mine looked like last night.
That's not what mine looked like.
I don't know. It looked like that last night. I ate it. The green
This does not look like what Pete Terry's looks like.
The Hatch chili green burger last night.
See if you can find just a picture of a bun. That's what Pete Terry's looks like.
No, that's Whataburger. Stop it.
Yeah, true.
Dude,
so I got a gift card just recently of Pete Terry's.
Oh, you got to go back again. You got gypped.
Like 3 times.
What?
Okay, look, the bun. John. I opened the bun, and the burger.
I'm so hurt right now.
The burger is like this super thin. There's like a pickle, maybe. It's just not worth the money.
I'm so hurt right now.
No, come on, dude. Pete Terry's.
The Hatch chili burger goes so hard. I love it. I go there. I get 2 doubles. Fries.
You gotta get a double because or else you don't see the meat on there.
Oh, well, who gets singles anywhere?
Well, okay, all right.
Does anyone go and get just single burgers? You got one patty?
Yeah.
Who does that?
I'm sorry, Pete Terry's. There's one patty is not that good. I'm sorry, I have to double it up every time.
It's still fast food. You gotta always get a double patty, no matter what. Mooney's is
not
good.
Impressed. Yeah, Mooney's. Yeah, Mooney's is good. Mooney's, yeah.
But it's another one of those things where it's like a cost quality analyzation. Like, Habdadi's for the price and the quality is phenomenal. And then you go to like Mooney's and something, you almost spend the exact same amount of money. I can't do it.
And if you find a couple pennies in your couch, you can go to Pete Terry's and enjoy a burger.
$3.95 for a double.
Yeah,
it's a steal.
Yeah.
I'm so hurt. I had Pete Terry's last night. I eat Pete Terry's probably more than I eat pho. It's true. It is true.
I feel like I gotta go to Pete Terry's now, and I'm gonna send you a picture of what they actually give me.
I think you have to.
I'm just gonna go like regular. I'm not gonna get doubles. I'm not gonna get Hatch nothing. I'm just gonna go regular. Give me like a regular burger.
Oh, that's gonna be hurtful.
And I'll take a picture. And you're probably not gonna be able to see the patty. I'm gonna have to like open it up, and you're
just gonna get it to prove a point and throw it away. Yeah. But that is true though. Burgers are super divisive.
Yeah. In-N-Out's decent. I mean,
I like
it's
In-N-Out.
good. Yeah, it's good.
I'm not a Whataburger guy.
I'm not a Whataburger person.
I'm not a Whataburger person at all.
Yeah.
I only go to Whataburger if I'm entirely too inebriated, and I don't even get a burger. I get the honey chicken biscuit, the honey chicken tender sandwich.
Yeah.
On the Texas toast. That's the only thing. That's the only thing you should get. Why would you get anything else there?
I can't really do fast food burgers. Like if I'm on a road trip, like it's gonna tear my stomach up. I can't do fast food.
It's true.
I gotta do something like the Jew Boy or something like.
That's what I was getting at with the whole Hop Dotties versus like Mooney's. They're almost the same price, and Mooney's is just so greasy comparatively. Versus Hop Dotties, there's no grease whatsoever. Everything is just so much higher quality. The milkshakes are phenomenal at Hop Dotties. Phenomenal. The French fries,
so good.
The French fries.
Kennebec fries.
Yes, the Kennebec potato with the homemade bun.
And the Larry's. You heard the little Larry's and big Larry's? It's a frozen margarita, but they put Grand Marnier in it at the top. Dude, it's so good, dude.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really good. That's what my girl gets all the time. Yeah.
I haven't tried that. Okay.
Big Larry's.
I'm gonna have to try that. Okay. Yeah, but Jew Boy Burgers, I've heard is the best.
There's a new place that opened up in Round Rock, and it looked amazing. It was I think it's like what do they call it? Where it's not a trailer, but
like
food truck.
A food truck.
Food truck in a Round Rock. I'll send you a picture of it. It looked freaking delicious.
Food trucks are always are goated always. Anyways, I mean, food trucks are always the best.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where you should get tacos from.
Have you tried the food truck in the gym parking lot there?
I haven't, but I've heard wonderful things.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, I've heard the tacos are pretty good.
It's good.
There's a spot on 6th Street on East 6, just a real like a stand, not even a truck, just a food stand, taco stand. That is
the best.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's one thing that's awesome about Austin. When I lived downtown on South Congress, I used to go across the street and right outside of it was like a Mexican store of just like whatever.
Oh, yep.
Dude, it was so good. I cannot remember what it was called. I think El Paisa or something like that. It was so freaking good.
Food. I know. We used to when you go to the South Congress Hop Dotties, there's always a line.
Yeah.
Or there used to be. I don't know now.
Yeah.
But there used to always be a wait, about an hour to an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And so what my friends and I, fat asses, would do is one person would hold the line at Hop Dotties, and then we'd go across the street to Home Slice.
Oh, my God.
Get pizza, eat pizza in the line for Hop Dotties.
Wow,
then,
that's hardcore.
Then go in the Hop Dotties and order.
That's hardcore.
That's always how we did it. Like, Home Slice is also great.
If I'm not eating burgers, I'm probably eating like Italian food.
Really?
I love Italian food. How could you not like Italian food?
It's too heavy. Italian food always
Italian
fucks
food
me
is
up.
Basically
always
pho without the flavor.
Without the broth.
Yeah, without the broth and everything else. Yeah.
Italian food is a guaranteed stomach destroyer. Like, Italian food fucks me up.
Really?
Now, when I was in Italy, though, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
But Italian food.
Don't go to like Tony. Don't go to like Cece's Pizza or anything.
No,
like
I mean
that.
even I went to the Italian place downtown on Barton Springs, not like 2 weeks ago, and still I was like, this is really good. This tastes phenomenal, but I don't want to eat any more of it.
Really?
It's just not something that I can just go ham on. It's just like halfway through, I'm like, eh.
Do you Italian food?
I like it, but I'm like him. I feel gross after.
Yeah.
But my wife loves it, so we eat it more than I'd like.
Yeah.
That's her favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah. I can't do it. I'd much rather Mexican
like mandolas. Food. Yeah, Mexican's good.
I would just rather Mexican food or Asian food.
Now, do you like authentic, or you like Lupe? Have you been to Lupe's?
Sure.
Yeah. Do you like Tex-Mex, or you more
Tex-Mex is fine.
Yeah.
Tex-Mex is fine, but I only really get fajitas at Tex-Mex places.
Yeah.
Right. That's the only thing I really get, because if you get the enchiladas, it's like, okay, these are fine. These are okay.
Yeah.
No, Guadalajara right here on 620.
Yeah, over here. Really?
That's the spot.
Really?
Yes, that's the spot. The breakfast is
really
phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Yes, I love it.
It looks like a place where half the plate is refried beans.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that though.
I'm not cool with that.
I'm cool with that with the side of tortillas. I'm good. I'm good. And they serve this big ass bowl of menudo that's like this big.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love it. I go in there. I speak a little Spanish, enough to get by. And I love to go in there. They all only speak Spanish. I mean, they speak English as well, but they primarily speak Spanish.
Yeah.
I love the huevos rancheros first thing in the morning. So good.
Between pho and huevos rancheros, dude, you got
I know.
You think you'd have an iron stomach for some pasta?
The pasta just it kills me. I don't know what it is.
Is it like a gluten thing?
It's very possible.
Okay, all right.
But
like pizza, can you do pizza?
Oh yeah.
Like Sacones?
I'll fuck up some pizza.
Okay, all right.
We just had a Pine House.
Okay.
2 nights ago.
Wait, the Pine House, is that over on Palmer there?
So I know there's one up on this side. I'm not too sure, but I had the one on.
The crust is pretty thick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's. Did you like it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Pine House. I had the one downtown, close like south, and so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. And then there's another place downtown, Round Rock.
Huh.
I feel like it is Pine House that's downtown, like that's right there, but maybe not. But Sacones is good.
So I like Sacones.
VS 512 is pretty good. If I want fast food pizza, I'll fuck up some Marco's.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marco's, if you order, I feel like Marco's literally doesn't give a fuck.
Is that pizza by the slice there or something?
No, it's just fast food like Domino's or whatever.
Okay.
I feel like Marco's doesn't give a fuck about their overhead because they'll hand you their extra large pizza and I have to carry it literally with 2 fucking hands. Like, they don't give a fuck. Dude, those employees don't care at all. The pizza is just covered in toppings, literally just smothered in toppings. I get the Hawaiian and there's like 87,000 pieces of pineapple and like 87,000 pieces of ham, and I'm like, I love this.
Dude, you know what's funny about that is my girl and I came back from Italy, and they were like, it's kind of like this trick question. They go, they asked, like, we're in this food tour, and they're like, who likes pineapple on their pizza? And one of the ladies like raised her hand, and dude, they went like hard on her. Like they were like dogging her out. They're like, do you see any yellow in the flag of Italy? It's red for marinara, white for cheese, and green for basil, like a margarita pizza. Dude, they were going ham on it. I sat back, I was like listening, like, oh shit, dude.
I sure don't.
Yeah, I don't like Hawaiian? Nah, I'm good.
Nah, I love a Hawaiian pizza. I do. I love a Hawaiian pizza, man. That's my go. I mean, when I order like fast food pizza and get it delivered, that's my go-to. It's always a Hawaiian pizza. I feel like you can't really fuck it up. So if I get Marco's or, God forbid, I get Domino's or something, the Hawaiian pizza I feel like is just so easy to make that it's really hard for them to fuck up. But
you gotta go on YouTube. You don't have to do it now, but you gotta go on YouTube. And okay, so Napoleon pizza, all that. This is from there, right? There's a it's a prank show in Italy. And this guy delivers pizzas to people's homes with pineapple on it. Dude, people like try and beat him up. Like they throw the pizza back in his face. They're like cursing him out. One lady like chased him out of like the apartment complex, like hardcore. They were just like, "How fucking dare you put pineapple on this pizza, dude?" It's hilarious. In fact, the food guy like showed it to us because we were dying laughing. It's nuts. Like they take that shit seriously. But then the first day of the food tour, we go and it's like this fried pizza they give us. I'm like, what the hell? It was like 10 in the morning, and the pizza was this long. It looked like a massive calzone, and it was just like everything was in it, and it was just like you just felt your arteries getting clogged as you were eating the thing. It was like nuts. But dude, it's crazy. It's hilarious though.
What's funny is in Rome, I had a Hawaiian pizza.
You did?
Yeah.
And they didn't give me no shit.
It was probably a tourist spot, I would imagine.
Definitely a tourist spot. Yeah.
But there was Hawaiian pizza on the menu.
Like, I just put it up there for these Americans.
Yeah, they did though. It was delicious. Italy's fantastic. What part did you go to?
Oh man, we had a great. It was my birthday trip, so we flew into Milan. We spent like a day. Okay. We have Jazz and I, we have this like great. We love traveling international, so we have this like great routine where we travel, and the first day we just like go to a spa. Okay. And we just get like a massage and steam room, and it like kills the jet lag. So we did like a day in Milan.
That's a good idea.
It's great. Okay. And then we went to Lake Como and did like a couple days there, all Airbnbs, and then we went to Cinque Terre for like 4 or 5 days, and then we took a train down to Amalfi Coast and did like Pompeii and stuff like that.
Nice.
It was awesome, but we literally ate pizza and pasta probably for every day. In fact, it got like too much. We started eating pizza for breakfast. I was like, okay, I need a timeout. I was like, I cannot do this anymore. So I like fished the rest of the day. But it was like if you don't like fish, pizza, and pasta, you go to Italy, you're fucked.
Yeah. They have some tourist breakfast spots that serve like an English breakfast, which is usually like eggs, tomatoes, toast, and a salad. Which there was a cafe in Rome that we always went to. When I travel, I try not to go to the same place twice, but it's inevitable that I find one spot that I have to go to multiple times. You just find that one spot where it's just so cool in there. The waiter was talking to us in English and then talking to the locals in Italian, and then was speaking Spanish, and then also a school of French kids came in and it switched to French, and I was just like, this is insane. I can sit here and watch this all day. Like, they just make us feel so stupid.
I know, right?
I just felt so dumb sitting in there. I was like, I can barely speak English, let alone switch between 4 different languages. It's incredible to watch. Over there, they really pride themselves on being able to speak multiple languages,
for sure.
And it's cool.
The vibe there is just, I love the vibe there. People are great, I mean, of course you're in like the tourist spot, so it's like great, it's like you're getting like kind of the serotonin, dopamine rush of the town because everyone's so nice and everything. But I love Italy. I love traveling international. It's a blast.
So when you're up there in northern Italy, did you see anybody get pickpocketed?
No.
So northern Italy is notorious for pickpocketing.
Really?
Notorious. I think it's Alfani.
Yeah.
Is that, I feel like that's the spot. So I've heard multiple Italians as well, like up there, you have to watch your stuff like in your pockets. Put your wallet in the front pocket. This girl got her whole purse stolen. We ended up meeting some girls in Rome, my sister and I, and we took a pasta class with them, and they were saying how they came from northern Italy, and that was like one of the first things they said. They were like, yeah, we got pickpocketed. The locals even told you like, hey, be careful. And it's just apparently up there, they're just really good. Like really good with sleight of hand.
It's funny you mention that, because now that I think back, that is true. Because at the train stop, they're like, hold on, be careful of your belongings, that kind of thing, like constantly on the overhead. So I can see that.
Yeah, apparently they're really good up there. The bullet train is a fun. You got to take the bullet train, right?
Yeah.
What a wonderful way of transport.
Dude, America's so behind on that thing. Amtrak, give me a break, dude.
Why can we not go to Houston and Dallas yet?
For real.
Like, why is that not a thing?
Yeah.
I mean, we went, I don't know how your train trip went, but we went from Rome to Florence. All countryside.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous. It was just so relaxing and so chill.
Yeah.
So much better than driving.
Totally.
So much better than flying. It was just so peaceful. You weren't worried about nothing. I mean, a train crashing is very unlikely compared to anything else, I hope. And it was wonderful to take the trip.
That's great. I told Jazz, I was like, I don't want to rent a car for this trip. I just want to I like looking at the countryside and all that kind of stuff. Just want to chill and look at the countryside. And it was like, for Jazz has been saying, like, it was like my favorite vacation. It was just perfect.
Italy's up there.
Oh man, it's so beautiful. Lake Como was amazing. It was crazy because the month before, and even up until the week before, all we saw on like the weather map was like rain. So we're like, fuck, it's like we're gonna be stuck in whatever, our Airbnb. But it was perfect weather. Of course we didn't go like in the water necessarily. It was a little too cold for that. But in terms of like just hanging out at the beach, it was perfect weather, blue skies. I mean, and we went. I guess we went late September, early October, so it was like not a lot of people there. It was like just the perfect time.
Oh yeah. Where else have you been other than Thailand, Italy?
I travel a lot. So I'm half Swiss. So my dad was full Swiss, and so we used to go to Europe a lot. So I lived in France for a year.
Okay.
So during college, so I was actually born in America, but my parents were career missionaries. So we after I was born, like a month after I was born, we went back to Africa, and so I lived there for the first like 6-7 years of my life.
What part?
So we were in Bujumbura, Burundi, and Kigali, Kenya.
Oh, nice.
So
okay, how was that?
I mean, what I remember was great. It was great. About 4 years ago, we went back. We took my dad back. He had Parkinson's. He's passed away now, but he had Parkinson's, and we wanted to take him back to his old school. He was like basically a school superintendent, or
Okay.
so he was in charge of the different schools as part of his mission work, and so we wanted to take him back to his old school in Burundi and stuff like that, and that was really cool. Did like a guerrilla trekking and all that kind of stuff.
Did you get to go anywhere else in Africa?
No, I just stayed. I flew into Kigali, stayed there for a little bit, and then we just drove around, took buses. My whole family went out there, except for one of my brothers. He couldn't make it, but it was so cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
One of my friends from Ghana, he keeps saying that we're gonna go because he goes back pretty regularly. He has a house there and whatnot, and his family still lives there.
yeah,
And I've had some Ghanaian food, and
yeah.
Nigerian and Ghanaian food is giraffe rice, giraffe rice, GEOFF. It's amazing.
Really.
Yeah, it's good. That's cool though.
Yeah,
Africa's
Africa's-
not a spot that a lot of people travel to.
No. Yeah, I'm trying to get Jazz to go, like maybe on a safari. She's a little timid, but she would do it. But yeah, all throughout Europe, Oslo, Italy, Portugal, Spain, France. All throughout. My next trip, I want to like South America as well.
Mhm.
But my next destination I want to go is Moscow, like Russia.
Okay.
I want to go to like St. Petersburg. I want to see what it's all about. I want to feel the vibe. I just see, you know what I mean? Just see for myself, not hear what like the news says or what other people say.
Sure. Go see it for yourself.
See it for myself, because I think generally people are pretty chill, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Of course, like even when we were in Italy, there were a lot of Russians actually that were vacationing in Italy, and I met a few, and they're like, actually one of the Italian ladies that we met was like, I really love the culture in Russia, and that was something that like you don't really hear too much about, because you think like stoic kind of people, and she's like, that's exactly what I like. She's like, I feel Italians are too much in your business, kissing you on your cheek, like, they know what's going on. And I thought that was pretty interesting. But yeah, I want to go and see for myself.
Yeah.
See what it's all about.
What's the favorite place you've been to?
This Italy trip was pretty badass. I think one of the top things I've done is went and saw the Northern Lights in Norway.
That's what I was just about to ask. If you ever gotten to go to any of the Scandinavian islands?
Yeah, Norway.
Okay.
Went to Oslo. We went to a small like village off like it's probably one of the most northern villages. In fact, it was one of the two most northern villages called Tromsø. And for my birthday, Jasmine, we got like a little catamaran, and we looked out. It was just us.
Yeah.
And so we went out there. The water was like the most still water I've ever seen, and of course, like the green sky from the Northern Lights was just amazing.
I've watched. I watch a lot of like nature shows on Disney Plus, and one of them is Wild Norway,
Oh, okay.
or Wild Nordic, and I kind of have this goal to go base jumping now,
Dude.
because
That'd be
Norway's
cool.
huge for base jumping. Where Mission Impossible was shot, that rock, people jump off that all the time. And
Now, is base jumping the one with the you have the thing, or is the one where you have like you're flying?
no, not the wingsuit. Base jumping
wingsuit,
is
yeah.
just skydiving, but you just
off.
jump off a cliff,
Okay.
and then you pull a chute.
Have you skydived?
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
So much.
It's so much fun.
Yeah,
I tell people all the time, like, they're like, what if you die doing that? I'd be like, I would much rather go out that kind of way than to die in my car going to work. I'd be so
Totally.
pissed.
Totally.
I'd be so mad. Or get shot at work. Like, I'd be so mad. Like, that's, like, I would much rather go out doing something super fun, super cool,
Yeah.
like base jumping or skydiving. One way I'm not dying, though, I ain't doing bungee jumping.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not going to
haven't
die
done
bungee jumping. No. More people die bungee jumping than any of these other extreme sports. Like, no, I'm good. I'm not trying to smack the pavement. No.
Yeah. No.
I'd much rather skydive, and then if the shoe don't go, well.
Yeah.
But I'm not bungee jumping. No. That's the one thing I'm like, no, it's not
Yeah,
worth it.
I
I'm not going to die that way.
I don't mind going down, but if I gotta go down, up,
Yeah,
down, up,
it
it's
just
like,
doesn't
no.
seem that fun.
No, thanks.
I'd rather just go down.
Yeah.
So I have this dream of going base jumping in Norway, but also there's a city up there. I don't know if it was the city that you went to or the town that you went to, But there's a town up there that it's Christmas 24/7
Whoa.
all year round. It's always Christmas themed, and you can go there any time of the year. There's always snow on the ground, and the whole place is decked out in Christmas lights, the whole 9 yards. They have a Santa Claus up there, everything. And another cool thing about Norway is obviously the Northern
Nordic?
Lights.
You kind of have a Nordic look.
I don't know. I have no idea. I honestly have no idea.
Oh, okay. He's kind of Nordic. Maybe it's the beard.
I have no idea, actually.
Okay.
I've never...
You've never done like a 23andMe
no,
or
I've never
something?
done any of the ancestry or anything. My mom keeps trying to get me to do it. I don't know. I kind of like not knowing.
Okay.
Because I just kind of like enjoying all of it.
You are not my mother.
Yeah.
Don't do it, son. Yeah.
No, I enjoy enjoying all the different cultures. I don't necessarily want, I guess, to find out and then have one where it's like I feel obligated to be in that one culture.
No, I hear you.
And so I kind of enjoy just being able to not knowing and just enjoying all types of cultures.
Yeah.
Like that's what I enjoy to do. I enjoy all types of food, all types of people, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And another thing with Norway too is they still herd the reindeer, and like traditionally, I mean they do it with snow machines now, but they still every year they herd the reindeer, they give them the tag, the whole 9 yards, and they still hang the fish. So it's so cold up there in the north that they build these racks, and they still hang the fish that they catch, and they let it freeze outside because it's always so cold. So the fish stay fresh and frozen all year, and they still do traditional Viking things that they've been doing for thousands of years, and it's still really cool to see people who are so in depth with their roots, and they just live out there in the middle of nowhere. They got no technology, no nothing. They just live by how their ancestors lived, and it's just something really cool about that. I couldn't do it, but there's something really cool about those kinds of people that stay out there and they do it.
Totally.
You know, it's neat. Norway's on my list.
Keeping the tradition and all that kind of stuff, for sure.
Norway's on my list. Thailand's on my list.
Thailand's great.
I've heard.
Japan. It's crazy when we went to Norway. Like, it almost seems like... okay, when you visit, you get a different vibe than, of course, if you were to live there. But it almost seemed like the perfect place to be.
It's constantly... Sweden and Norway are constantly in the top 10 countries to live every year.
Tranquil. People are nice. Like every one of our Ubers was like basically a Tesla or Mercedes. Like it's like really.
Well, the
like
average
balling out there.
average income in Sweden is 110,000. So of course everyone's nice. No one's struggling.
Yeah, they have socialized So I have a hip replaced. So I got a hip replaced, and I got it like shortly before we went, or shortly before or after. I don't remember exactly, but I was asking them. So how much would I have to pay for? Because I paid like $30,000 or whatever it was. And I was like, how much would I have to pay for this thing if I was to do it here? They're like, no, nothing. Like, nothing. I mean, no. Like, how much would I have to pay to have my hip replaced? They're like, yeah, no. I mean, maybe you pay something if you have specialized medicine, like insurance, but like, no, it's basically free. And dude, I was just like blown away.
Yeah.
Canada's like that too, but it's like when you hear it and you. First off, if you're stressed about a situation, and then you go into like you walk across a borderline, and these people over there are just like, oh no, we don't stress about that stuff here.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what the fuck? Why am I stressing? Like, why are we doing this over here? It's like crazy.
It is interesting. My dad is fully retired, military. Now he's working on his second retirement. He joined when he was 18, retired when he was 38. So did his 20, fully retired. Now working on a second one, and he's fully covered by the VA. And he had a surgery not too long ago to get a blood clot removed, and he went on post to get it done, and then he got sent to a hospital off post because the one on post didn't have the technology to do it. So he got sent off post, and he had the surgery, and they sent him a bill for $100,000.
Whoa!
$100,000. Who just has $100,000 just chilling? Very few people.
Yeah, exactly.
Very few people just are liquid $100,000 to pay for a medical procedure.
Yeah.
And then like the insurance company is trying not to cover it, and it's like he's 100% retired, like 100% covered, no matter what. And it's just
how long ago was this?
Was this like a year ago?
I thought when they refer you out, Wasn't that one of the things that like Trump was trying to do? Like, if you refer you out, that they'll cover if the VA can't get you.
You should definitely be covered.
Definitely,
you should definitely be covered.
Basically, if you serve in the military, I feel you should be covered 100% for your. If you go you risk your life to go and like serve in our military.
Yeah.
You deserve at least minimum of that.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Plus
you should
more,
be fully covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But then then the people make the argument, well, that has led to so much innovation, and it's a tricky subject.
Because of the capitalism part
of
it?
Yeah, it's a tricky subject. But I see what you're saying. You go to Norway and they're like, we don't stress about that. Or you go to Canada and they don't stress about that. Now, granted, though, people still from other countries still come here to pay the money to get surgeries done here.
Yeah. But then people go over there too. It's like
True.
Traveling medicine is a massive industry. So, I have a little bit of fucked up story, but when I first realized I had to have this hip replacement, I didn't have insurance. And I was like, I went to orthopedic surgeons here in Austin. I got like price quotes, whatever, and they're like, yeah, it's gonna be like $40,000. And I didn't know you can negotiate. I didn't know any of this stuff. I was just like taking them at their word.
Negotiate?
Yeah, like yeah, like yeah. I mean, okay, not right there, but when you get the bill, like you basically say, I can't pay this forever, and they give you like 50 or 80% off. But if your insurance pays for it, you get no discount. So for example, if you get a bill for $100,000 and your insurance pays like their whatever it is, they pay $90,000 of it, and you're on the hook for $10,000, you're not going to get that $10,000 reduced.
Yeah.
But if you don't have any insurance and you get a bill for $100,000, you can get a large majority of it reduced. Anyways, I didn't know any of this stuff, so I was like, well, I got $40,000 to drop just on this thing. So I went to Puerto Vallarta. I did a research on a very well-known, good orthopedic surgeon. Went down there, did the whole thing, thought everything was great. Totally fucked up my hip.
Oh no.
Totally fucked up my hip. My hip popped out twice.
Okay.
I was actually in the gym one time, and my feet were planted, and I turned over to grab a gi for someone in a noon class, and I just turned my body, and my hip popped out. And I knew it happened because it happened before, and I just fell to the ground. And then we had to call the ambulance, and that whole nine. They had to take me in, and then this whole thing. And it was like thousands of dollars in hospital bills. And the point of this was, what was the point of this?
We were talking about traveling
medicine. Oh, yeah, we're talking about
traveling
medicine. Yeah, so in fact, I contacted the guy. I was like, look, you fucked this up. I was like, my hip popped out twice. Good on him. He gave me my money back. Until I went here, and at this time I had insurance. I went here, and they fixed it up. It's like totally fine now. So, yeah, traveling medicine is good, but you can get screwed also on that. But both ways. I mean, if people come to Miami for plastic surgery, and they get their shit fucked up, and then they're back in their country with a jacked up nose or whatever the case may be. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, it's like, what's the fine line? There's got to be some kind of compromise to all of this.
Well, in Japan, so Jasmine is actually from Japan.
Okay.
So in Japan, you have to pay a little bit. It's like based on your income. So let's just say like $100, but you're fully covered.
Okay.
So it's like, I agree. Like if you give something to people for free, they either abuse it or whatever the case may be. But if you got to pay a little bit, but you're fully covered, I think that's a good compromise. You know what I mean? I don't know.
There's got to be a compromise, right? I feel like U.S. politics is like people just grab onto these extremes on both ends and then never budge.
Totally.
And it's so inefficient.
Totally.
We could be so much better off if everyone just tried to meet in the middle.
And it's always the people that are in power that are like this. Like you and I, us three, we're probably not like that. We're probably not like super like extreme to one side. We're like more level-headed in the middle, or we can hear something and go, that's fucked up, but that's good, whatever. But, you run for office, you got to it seems like you guys have some extreme position on something that's crazy.
It is wild. It is wild. I feel like we're going to get so much more done if it just...
For sure.
You just met in the middle, like you said in Japan. You got to pay a little bit, but you're fully covered.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it was $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In Norway,
it's manageable.
It's kind of the same thing. And I think Canada also. It's like you can take the socialized medicine, but if you want like a specialized person, you can pay a little bit extra to have like a personal doctor or whatever the case may be. But at least like it's a right. You have like health insurance, or else, like your dad, he gets stuck or not stuck, but you get a bill for $100,000. Like, what are you supposed to do with this thing?
Right.
You know, I was like, what the hell?
To even send that to somebody with a straight face, thinking that you're ever getting that back.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Who's paying this?
Right, exactly. Who's paying this?
Like, what? $100,000, yeah. All right, John.
Yeah?
This was a blast.
Cool, man.
This was so much fun.
Appreciate
Go
it.
ahead, shout yourself out.
John's
Tell
Gym,
everybody where they can find you, the whole 9
come
yards.
hang out. Come train with Jordan. Come get beat up by Jordan.
No, it's not true. You'll probably beat me up.
Come have a good time. I appreciate it. Thank you for
Absolutely.
inviting me. It was a lot of fun.
Instagram.
Yeah, at johnsgymatx.com.
Boom.
Yep.
Absolutely. It was a lot of fun, man.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys. We'll catch y'all next time.
Cool.
Boom.